Now it's time to discuss our final last texture for our texture tile assignment, and I will be placing that in the blank area on the right. If you compare the last video to what I currently have on my tile, I've got my small shapes arranged in a spiral design. I ended up doing that at the last minute. And then now it's time to transition to overlapping shapes, which is similar to small shapes, but they are literally leaning on one another. So here's a small shape I like to start with that I will mass produce and then overlap. And this is essentially what I call a clay coin. It is a sphere that is flattened to be about nickel thickness. So in order to do that, you're just going to make a sphere again, just like in the last video. Use your palm as a tabletop. Use the natural curvature of your palm to help you make the sphere. And you're doing a lot of rolling with the palms, but you can even use fingertips as I'm doing right now. I kind of mix it up, fingertips, and then I'll roll again with the palm and then roll again with the fingertips. Anyway, so make a perfect sphere and then just simply flatten it. Just kind of squeeze it where you're flattening it to a point where it's about nickel thick. And you can even place it down on the table and flatten it with your thumb if that's easier for you. So you can flatten it with your thumb or just kind of squeeze it where it's flattening that way too. Either way works. And then it's all about deciding if you like it in that area of your tile, and make a few to see that they are arranged in an interesting way. And I've got a few handy here. And when you arrange them, don't place these shapes side by side. Instead, kind of tilt them one on top of the other so it looks like fallen dominoes. That's what we're trying to mimic, fallen dominoes. And if you've ever played the game Dominoes, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm creating a column here of overlapping shapes, essentially. And if you look at the side view, you can see how they are literally, each piece is leaning on one another, tilting as dominoes would fall. So that is overlapping shapes versus what I talked about in the last video, which is just simply small shapes. Small shapes are placed side by side on a ceramic piece. Overlapping shapes are kind of placed on one another in a way, slightly on one another. So this will be a little time consuming in making the army of the pieces to begin with, and then attaching them. And I'll go into that in a minute. But here I'm just arranging columns of my overlapping shapes to see that I like them. You, of course, would maybe want to do something different. And you don't have to go with a clay coin shape either. You can go with something else, a totally different small shape. Just overlap it. That's what I want you to do for this. For instance, here's another option. If you don't like the clay coin idea, you can make a clay coin and then simply cut it in half with your paper clip, and that will produce 2 semicircles. Maybe you prefer that shape, a semicircle. Again, mass produce a bunch. If you like a semicircle shape, make a bunch and then arrange them where they are also leaning on one another slightly. And here I'm just kind of experimenting with how I want to arrange them, keeping in mind that I need to not just simply place them next to each other, but I need to kind of pile them up a bit, where one semicircle is leaning against another, which is leaning against another, etc., etc. So here is true overlapping of semicircles. And so if that seems interesting to you, go ahead and feel free to mimic this and do this on your tile. So you can see there's a slight overlapping of the semicircles, and that is good enough to serve as what is called an overlapping shape in ceramics, an overlapping textural decor. Now in the last video you saw me make rectangular bars. Well, if you make an army and lean them slightly one on top of the other, that will qualify as overlapping, and it'll kind of almost look like dominoes, like Barbie-sized dominoes that have fallen on one another. So let's look at that side view and so you can see what I mean. So that would work too. So that's an option. So basically make an army of small shapes, but design them in such a way where they'll be easy to overlap, one on top of the other on top of the other. Again, not too difficult, but time consuming. I think I'm going to, instead of having columns, I'm going to place my clay coins. That's a shape I'm personally going with. You might like semicircles, but I'm going to place my little clay coins in kind of a diagonal direction. I think I like that better. I think it visually flows better on my tile. And again, you have to make those judgment calls for your tile and think about your preferences and what you like. So I've decided on the arrangement. Now it's a matter of physically attaching them, physically securing them. So I'm going to attempt to crosshatch, and if you can't crosshatch and you don't simply have the space, then do the alternative, which is poking holes as your scoring method. And then do the same thing on your tile. Scratch that area up aggressively. Get some water on the surface of the tile. I like to score again. And then don't forget to do the same thing to the actual 3D object. So score it, add some water, and then I recommend you score again. You don't have to, but it's a good idea. Place your shape onto your tile. Maybe apply a little bit of pressure so it's secure. Create a water seal, as I call it. And now it's time to do actual overlapping. That was just our first piece, just to get the ball rolling, just to get the situation started. Now we're going to do what is actual overlapping. And I'm going to slip and score the back of my second piece. And I need to score up the tile again. And the initial first piece, because the second piece I'm about to attach, it's not only sitting on the tile, it's kind of leaning on my first clay coin. So that's what I mean about this being slightly time consuming, because you're doing kind of like additional slipping and scoring. So now those two are secure, and then I'm just adding a last minute water seal just to make sure all those pieces stay put and don't fall off of my tile. And then it's just a matter of continuing on where every piece is going to overlap and slightly lean on the previous piece. At the same time, I'm also slipping and scoring the pieces themselves to the tile and to one another. So after you've done overlapping, you have now learned a total of 7 ways to decorate future projects. And, you'll have a favorite as well, or 2. If you end up with some leftover clay in your scrap clay bag, that's great. Make something fun for extra credit. Here's another idea that I thought of here at the last second. If you haven't done a pretzel twist for your coil sample, technically this is overlapping too. So this could be your overlapping sample if you wish. When 2 coils are braided, that's overlapping as well. So feel free to go that direction if you don't like semicircles, if you don't like the clay coin idea. Kind of piling up coils a little bit will work as a sample of overlapping. Just get creative and then obviously slip and score your braided coil onto the tile well. There you have it, guys. We're done.